Peace, peace. Happy now. Now's a vibrate, of course. We're not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. Right now, I want to speak on a lesson that I've learned firsthand. Seeing how being scornful about a situation can hinder your spiritual growth and soul ascension, and even when it gets even more so heavier to where it could even keep your soul earthbound. You know, as far as like holding some grudge for something that happened here, and not forgiving that person, place, or thing, for doing whatever it did towards you, you know, uh, holding your soul down, because you got the aspect of us, you know, picking out our situation. Now, some may feel like, all right, like, well, no, if we pick our parents, that means we have a certain like fate or destiny. Not so in the sense of just picking the parents is just again picking a broad situation for you to go into, but that's not again not micromanaging your experience here on this plane of existence. You know what I'm saying? And from the book Memories of Heaven, and then my own experience where I had a brethren who wasn't into the new age vibes and reading all these books, so you couldn't really say that his subconscious was programmed to have a type of thought like that, or feel that type of way. Especially when he spoke on like, always kind of, growing up having this little vision. And I done spoke on it where he visualized like him, his mom, and his brother, from an astral, like from their soul body and coming down into this earthly plane, you know, and almost again like choosing to be like, all right, you're gonna be the mom or the daddy, I'm gonna be the brother, you know, in between some souls, before they come down. So, from our own inner gnosis and evidence, through people's stories and stuff like that, I see that vibe of us, picking that aspect, and again though, not completely pinpointing our destination or destiny in essence, like, or it's fate, everything, like well, when we sign our soul contracts, that's not micromanaging our experience before we get here. But thinking to a situation like again with me with the Catholic Church, if I was to get mad, like, so say for instance, me not dealing with the Gnostic papers, like the Christian Gnostic papers, had a lot to do. Cause say for instance, I dabble with the Bible, even though I was still a little scornful, from coming up in Christianity and being lied to and forced to go to church and catechism and all this bullcorn, But having to realize that, as souls, we pick, we got a little blueprint of what kind of lessons we're gonna learn in this plane of existence. I always use the example of again, like if I'm trying to learn patience, I'm gonna go down to a family, not a family of monks, because then I'm not testing myself or learning anything. It's almost like going into the gym, saying I'm gonna go work out, but I just like, go into there and just look at the, the weights, and I'm just chilling, I guess like, well, you're not testing your strength. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not testing your strength by just sitting in the weight room, or being in a situation that's not testing your strength. So if I'm coming down to learn patience, I'm gonna go into a family that's gonna be hectic, a family that's just like all everywhere, just chaotic, in order for me to learn how to develop patience in that chaotic situation, because that's mastery right there. Whenever you're, because if you could be patient in a chaotic situation, and you could be patient in all cases, you know what I'm saying? So you leveling up right there, compared to saying that you're gonna learn patience so you go to a family of monks. That ain't learning patience, that's just staying, you know what I'm saying? That's how I say, not mastering the energy in essence. Again, like going in the, saying you want to get stronger, and go in the weight room but don't lift weights, you know what I'm saying? The resistance is what makes stronger, you know what I'm saying? Pulling the rubber band back further is what makes it fly forward. But again, back to my situation where, I'm coming across looking at the Pistis Sophia Gnostic text, looking at the Book of St. Thomas Gnostic text, and, you know, the Book of Enoch, and just getting into, matter of fact, the Gnostic text connected to, the Nam Hammadi, I don't know if they call it scrolls or text, but the Nam Hammadi text, matter of fact, connected to the Gnostic papers that, Carl Jung got one of the first books given to him, you know what I'm saying? That's where you see how he's good with the psychology, because too, this breaks down like, the archetypical ain't because that's archangels, but these archetypes of the divine mother energy, you know what I'm saying, and the essence Sophia, they got these different archetypes. And I done spoke on this on so many levels, like what Hollywood, say for instance, is a place to bring in a certain archetype. Sports, the warrior archetype, you know what I'm saying? Like these different avenues where, the oppressor know that we are, again, and got these Gnostic papers, and, Carl Jung and these different people funded by, J.P. Morgan, like Aldous Huxley, B.F. Skinner, So they understood, like, all right, these are souls coming down the human experience, and they're going to be looking to, they're going to vibe with a certain, blueprint of energy, and that has to do with, these certain, quote unquote, fallen angels and different energies spoken of in the Book of Enoch and in the Apocrypha, and in these Nam Hammadi, Nag, N-A-G, Hammadi, H-A-M-M-A-D-I, Nag Hammadi texts, and it breaks it down further. And that's why these texts were taken out of the Bible, because you start to see, oh damn, if this was in the Bible, they wouldn't be able, and that's the whole reason why they didn't put it in there. It's like, shit, if this was in the Bible, we wouldn't be able to control people, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't be able, like our story with the Jesus, like making Jesus the main character and all this, it wouldn't work, you know what I'm saying? But for myself though, seeing that if I was to be, extremely still, like, oh man, fuck church, fuck, I ain't touching no information dealing with the Bible or the Catholic Church or none of that, if I would have stayed strongly in that energy, I never would have came across, like, I would have been like, oh man, I ain't never reading the Book of Enoch, even though it's, deep information. I ain't never dealing with the Bible or going deeper into this on that level, but realizing, like, as I got to these Gnostic texts, opening doors, like I'm having these aha moments. And matter of fact, I see how much too that I work on a level where, almost like that, for better or worse, that one hand tied behind my back, like, let me work on my right hand, let me work on my left hand, you know what I'm saying? Like doing things with a little difficulty level, and then coming back to seeing, because say for instance, where I see where, and I say shoulda in that essence, because everything, everything is synchronized and happens for a reason, but like, looking at those Gnostic texts, and how, like, at the beginning of my group, like the Kabbalah and, the Book of Enoch, all these things were pushed in my face earlier in my growth. But, I kind of was going in a direction of, it was a mixture of, being directed by intuition, but also like what my conscious mind wanted to really go. Because again, my conscious mind also has the vibe of, like, again, fuck Christianity, fuck, like somebody who scornful over somebody who, might have raped them or, did them wrong in some kind of way, punched them in the face or took their toy away, or, not toy, because, little kid stuff, but like, just having this grudge, and or like the person who murdered your cousin, or whatever this case may be, you start to see that holding these grudges hold us down. And especially when we have the understanding, or we get to a place of understanding, like, wait, I'm a soul on the human experience, And I chose to pick a situation that was gonna be pressurous. In order to pressurous. I made up that word, but I designed a situation that's gonna create a little pressure, a little test. Because resistance makes stronger. You know what I'm saying? Put myself into a situation with some pressure that's gonna make me into a diamond, or either I fold. Either I go I go deal with that pressure and become a diamond, or I fold and I stay a piece of just carbon, in that manner. But seeing how not holding that grudge, because again, it's our own energy that's being held down. Like, because look at it like this: if I was to still hold that strong grudge, I wouldn't come across this information that's important. Like, because right now, this information is kind of important to get that little insight, about like the Yalda broth energy and the Pistis Sophia energy. As a matter of fact, you kind of see that connection with again, the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, with the Incan and Lil story, but all this start to come together. But for sure, from the Christian aspect, it's like if I would have been like, oh no, man, for all them times I had to go to church and all that, and when I didn't want to, then I would be in that human consciousness of forgetting like the bigger picture of like, wait, I'm sourced on the human experience, and I picked out a certain level of tests in order for me to grow in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? So I would be hindering my own soul and my own energy to hold a grudge, because to hold a grudge on that level, you constantly like being mad or angered at something. If you constantly being mad or angered, then you're constantly going to be vibrating on a lower frequency. And that's not saying that anger and being angry and mad is a bad thing. Of course, sometimes anger arrives, and sometimes you get mad, and that may strike up. But that's not an energy that we constantly occupy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it arises within us when the time calls for it, and then it it flows on, compared to just like constant like because again, you lowering your vibration and hindering yourself. And what's funny, not that it's no win or lose type of situation, but it's like it is like a lose. Like, here it is where that the Christian Catholic Church would be winning. Like, like, say for instance, in that, just looking at it from that perspective of like, would you want them to win, or do you want to elevate yourself and be the change you want to see, and help to transmute that energy, away from harming others. You know what I'm saying? Well, then you gotta raise up within yourself, because if I stay scornful and like this and that, then I'm gonna constantly keep myself in a lower vibratory state and keep myself from ascending. Because again, by me releasing that grudge, I'm coming across these Gnostic texts, and I'm learning about things that's helping for my soul to ascend. I'm helping, I'm coming across information that's really helping me. And I wouldn't have came across this information if I was still holding that grudge against Christianity. You know what I'm saying? On such a strong level. Again, I released it to some extent, because again, I did, I have tapped into the Bible before, but I wasn't, I was kind of like only when Spirit really just brought the Bible into perspective. And again, the Bible never was meant to be taken literally. It's all allegory, and for the most part, allegory in some cases purposely made to throw you off, and not have you really understand what's going on. Because again, back to the point of taking those books out, like the Book of Enoch and Apocrypha, and not dealing with the non-commodity texts, but these texts give deeper perspectives, and just to drift off into just the general energy of, again, holding grudges and this and that, and what's, synchronized. I saw somebody else, I think Dolo Archangel Uriel bringing up the something dealing with rape. I just saw like a situation dealing with rape, and it's funny because I had the idea of doing this video right before I saw that, and I'm just doing it now. But you know, as a matter of fact, I just added to a vibe of, you know, maybe just to like maybe right now it's an energy, a higher self and source, you know, pushing the energy down to this message of, you know, forgiveness, you know, because if you holding a grudge against that, you know, like these, like a child molester or a murderer or a rapist, all this, you know, these are people that's sick in the head. And now when I say this doesn't mean that you have to like what they did, you know what I'm saying, and accept that behavior, you know what I'm saying. That's not saying that, you know what I'm saying. So I gotta, you know, because you know, again, you gotta be specific, you know. But what I am saying though, it is about, you know, forgiveness on an unconditional love level, you know, because having unconditional love doesn't mean you have to like that position that that person took, you know what I'm saying, of raping somebody or molesting somebody, or, you know, or being a hate group towards somebody or oppressing somebody. You know, you don't agree with that, but, you know, that's the whole thing. The reason why these acts happen is because it's a, you know, it's an absence of unconditional love in some way, form, or fashion, you know, and no matter how you slice it, you know, being angry and mean and holding a grudge towards somebody, you know, if we all constantly did that, then this world would just stay in that cycle of not ascending. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. You know, anybody would think different. You know, I'm not one of people, you know, because it really ain't to a certain extent like no book information that would back it up, but it's almost like, you know, feel free to challenge that, you know, but like you know, it ain't no way to help it, like, you know, fighting fire with fire. Like, if you fighting fire, you grab water, not fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't use the same fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just gonna be a big burn down. You know what I'm saying? Eye for eye, and we'll all be blind. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes you know, a opposing energy, you know, to transmute that, you know, that negativity, and again having that level of forgiveness, you know, because some people, you know, feel like it's, oh no, always hold a grudge. Well, you know, that again, earthbound energies and reincarnating for situations like a melanated person holding that grudge against, you know, quote unquote white people for slavery. You know, you gon' by being mad and mean and not realizing, hold on, I'm sourced on a human experience, and that's just part of my experience was, you know, going through that slavery, you know. And also it was like, and when we say karma, karma is not no, oh, the bad stuff that come back to you or this and that. It's just basically another word for cause and effect, you know what I'm saying. And uh you know, we did something, we caused a certain little energy, so it has a certain effect later on, you know, that we got to deal with, you know what I'm saying. And that's our karma, you know, that quote unquote karma that we dealing with. But you know, if you was a person to hold us that grudge, you know, you gonna be reincarnating back into this motherfucker, wondering why, like, you stuck in this construct of, oh, I'm black, and, you know, when this, you know, like, you gonna keep yourself stuck. You won't be able to ascend away from this realm because you're just so caught up in the energies. Your energy gonna be thick and stagnant, you know what I'm saying. So when you transition out of your bodysuit, that stagnant, you know, low vibratory energy won't allow for you to go into realms that's vibrating on a higher frequency. You know, you're not even compatible, you know, even on that level, because again, it's a scientific level of the way we move too, like just wavelengths, you know what I'm saying. Like wavelengths, like this wavelength could occupy this area that matches its wavelength, you know what I'm saying. So when you higher dimensions, that's why we're able to tap in to psychic abilities, or, you know, connecting with certain spirits, because, you know, when we raise our vibration, because as our vibration raised, then we get closer to being on that same dimension as those beings. That's why we're able to relay those messages. But if I'm holding grudges and being negative and being mad and all this, for one, again, like I may be blocking out certain information, like here it is, while again blocking out the Gnostic text and all this, just because like, oh man, I'm done with Christianity. Cause that's the vibe too. I'm like, only if source pushes me to, deal with the books, on a certain level. But fuck Christianity, fuck Catholic Church. But seeing how that was like holding me down, you know what I'm saying? Even in the experience where at one time still feeling some kind of way towards people, Christian Catholic people, you know what I'm saying, that's like overly evangelist. Now, there is a balance right there where, of course, we're aware of the bullshit that the Catholic Church does. So again, we're not condoning that behavior. Again, not condoning that behavior, but just the fact of forgiving, and more so, my situation is not necessarily forgiving, but more so just letting go of a grudge. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause here it is, where I picked the situation to go to the parents that was gonna have me in that fucking church anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I could learn a little lesson, to see like, all right, will I get over this energy? Because it's part of like maybe I was always dealing, and I say maybe in some way, form, or fashion, connected to the Christianity or Catholic Church in the past, and incarnating in this bodysuit in this lifetime to get over some past energy dealing with the Catholic Church. You know what I'm saying? So like place myself, like let's see if you're gonna remember and see if you're gonna grow past this lesson loop. Because if you don't grow past this lesson loop, it's gonna be on repeat. Not only just in this lifetime, but bring you back to the same lessons in another lifetime. You know what I'm saying? All behind holding grudges. Like, well, you holding grudge against a rapist or something like that. All right, cool. You come back as a person that's where you choose a situation where you, in essence, quote unquote, sick in the mind, and you rape somebody, and you see how you really didn't want to do it, but you're just sick in the mind, in essence, and having to deal with that energy from that perspective of that person. So many little scenarios again with reincarnating and lesson learning, but definitely want to be letting go of these grudges again, against people, places, or things. Might be a certain place, like, man, forget the city of such and such, man, and then like you realize that you might, some strange things happen and you end up like, even though you're like, man, I'm never going back, but like something gonna line up and brings you back, but then you see that it was like you meet your somebody you were supposed to meet, or get something you were supposed to get that really helps your soul ascension in that city that you were holding a grudge against going back to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start to realize how lower vibrations in general, and just a certain level of fear just holds you back, on all levels. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna stop you from going in places that really is gonna help you ascend spiritually and soulfully. And again, with other situations, got certain because again, whenever we extreme on these, not say extreme, but just like holding these grudges so strongly, you slipping into that vibe of forgetting that you are a soul on a human experience that reincarnates and dealing with a certain situation that in so many ways was picked out, because even down to like, again, with whether it was like a destined vibe to learn or deal with a certain energy, like on a test level, coming down as a soul, because that's the same thing like we talk about like a baby transitioning, it's just a soul coming into a baby bodysuit, and like it could have the vibe of, I done did all these other type of incarnations. Let me see if I could come down for just a few minutes and then come back with my memory. You know what I'm saying? Without like, let me see if we Like, 'cause that could be something like, let me see if I could keep the subconscious of being a soul on a human experience if I just come down for a little second, and then go right back up. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a thing, you know what I'm saying? Again, we souls on a human experience, learning lessons through our human experience, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, again, also with the aspect of within this realm of reality too, you know, attracting certain things to us through our subconscious, but for the most part, these things are, whether we attracted it or set it up for ourselves through soul, through our soul contract, or because of some type of subconscious programming that we develop that attracts a certain harmful situation to us, for us to go through something that would probably, make you have a grudge against a certain person, place, or thing. But it's for you to learn to have that, that forgiveness, Like, cause if somebody still like, oh no, fuck that person that murdered so and so and this and that, and they should burn in hell, and I hate them and this and that, and then you just constantly like that, then all that hate, all that, holding a grudge, all that low vibrational energy is gonna hold you, down into this realm, It's gonna hold your soul down. So you just simply like that. And I won't, because I got multiple videos going into it. I kind of just won't, drag it out. But definitely. And again, looking at it in my own experience, like, well, holding that grudge, and I wouldn't be coming across these Gnostic texts and all this information that's really, really kind of like where I feel myself like having aha moments, like on DMT trips, like basically from just, matter of fact, I'm listening to some of the books. I don't actually have the books yet, because otherwise I'd be showing y'all. But and I'm using the actual tablet that I'm listening to it on, so I can't really show you from that perspective either. But yeah, you just see again, it's your energy that suffers. Like how I spoke on somebody tricking you to close down your heart center. Of course you could be mad like the motherfuckers tricked me into closing my heart center. But that's not what's gonna help you. You gotta open up that heart center, and that parts of that deal with empathy and unconditional love and understanding. Again, that doesn't mean supporting the behavior of those people who, did harm towards you, but it's just having that unconditional love where, I love you under any condition, no matter the condition, even if you try to harm me, I got that infinite love, because I understand our interconnectedness. I understand the bigger picture. I understand that we are souls on a human experience, and not no fucking human that just got fucked over by the Catholic Church, and that's the end all be all, is I'm a human. And like, nah, it's a soul on a human experience. Both equally important. The spiritual world, physical world, which are both equal, in essence. Mind, body, and soul all, treated equally. But it's not for us to put the temporary part of us over the infinite part of us. The temporary part being the bodysuit, and our experience here on this physical plane is more temporary. But our energy on a soulful level, is infinite. But that's basically it. That's all I have to say about that. Peace. Peace. Happy now. Now the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Peace, peace.